Hey everybody, what's up? It's Jay and welcome back. As you can see, we're playing Blackout today, our first ever game. Well, it's not my first ever game, but it's the first ever video I've done on Blackout. And we're going to be playing as our all-time favourite zombies villain, the Shadowman, obviously, also known as Mr. Rapt and Nyarlathotep. Now, this is my first proper time playing Blackout. I played a few games in the beta and one quick game like a few days ago when the game first came out. But this is my first actual time playing the game like seriously and trying to win. And I'm going to do pretty well. I get like 6 kills including some nice sniper headshots with the paladin. But then sadly I die in second place. But I'm mostly just exploring the vast landscape in this match. We're going to be starting off at Verrucht, fighting some zombies and finding loot and whatnot, before we head out into the graveyard and then into the countryside trying to find people and trying to win the game. But yeah, before we get started, there is one more thing, and that is because basically I'm new to Blackout. You'll have to bear with me if I do anything like retarded, or if it looks like I don't know what I'm doing, especially when I'm looting. You'll see it does take me quite a while to actually loot a body, because I really don't know what anything is. I don't know what the good items are to take, and I'm just trying to figure out, you know, how the game works, how to loot and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, you will have to just bear with me as I'm doing all that stuff. But I think with all that said and done, let's move in to the main content of this video, which is obviously discussing Blackout and how it plays. So how does it play? Let's talk about how it plays. And in my opinion, it's like a mixture of H1Z1 and Fortnite. I think if I had to describe Blackout in like simple terms, I would describe it as like the love child of H1Z1 and Fortnite. And it's fairly fast paced, but there's also enough room for tactical maneuvering and strategic options. So it's not like normal CODs where you're kind of confined to this one tiny map and there isn't really much room for, you know, evasive maneuvering and trying to flank people and stuff like that. But in I almost said Fortnite, but in Blackout there is a lot of room for, you know, evasive maneuvering, strategic positioning and everything else like that. So I really like it in that sense. I think they've done that really well. And the terrain also kind of reinforces these styles of play, because it's not all just flat like it normally is. You've also got buildings, you've got hills and rocks that you can get on top of. And I think it really helps when you use the environment to your advantage. I think you can really utilize it in this map here, the Blackout map. So as we're just playing around here in Verrucht, and we're gonna move out to the graveyard in a sec, I really like how they've also put zombie stuff in Blackout for the zombies fans amongst us like me. I dropped at Verrucht for obvious reasons, because I love zombies and I wanted to see how it played and, you know, what was there and stuff. The zombies, once you kill them, they do seem to be stronger than usual. They're like kind of high round zombies that you're fighting here. But when you kill them, they drop like special items. You can get the ray gun, you can get the MG08 from Origins, and I've also seen the Galil in the kill feed, although I've never actually found it myself, but I'm guessing it's here because I have seen it in the kill feed. There's the mystery box also, which in this game here that you're watching, you probably saw me go up to it. I couldn't figure out how to open it. Maybe it was not meant to be there, or maybe it was a bug or something, I'm not sure, but I didn't get any indicator and I couldn't open the box for whatever reason. So I'll try to figure that out in, you know, the next few games that I play. Now, there's also the Blightfather, which I believe you spawn in the graveyards, but I didn't actually figure out how to do that. In all fairness, I didn't spend long in the graveyard because I was just, you know, running through, seeing what was there before I had to run on because of the circle. But I did see that you can get the Blightfather to spawn in, which I believe you can do in the graveyard, although I'm not 100%. Again, I'll have to try and figure that out. Now, the zombies can spawn in several locations around the map. I know they spawn at Verrucht and obviously the graveyard, and they can also spawn at the lighthouse, which obviously is a reference to Call of the Dead all the way back in Black Ops. And I know the zombies don't really change the dynamic of the game up that much, because they're only in certain areas and they're not just kind of wandering around all over the place for them to just like kill you for no apparent reason, which I like. I think that's good. I do think it's better that the zombies are confined to certain areas, but they are a nice extra feature that Treyarch have added in, especially for the zombies fans out there like me, and I'm sure most of you. I think it makes the game a little bit more fun to play. And yeah, I really like the zombies, so hopefully they've got more zombies Easter eggs out there planned for the future, you know, whatever the future of Blackout might be. But in general, Blackout isn't my first kind of foray into the Battle Royale genre. I've also been a huge fan of PUBG over the past, But the issue I have with PUBG, and I talked about this a little bit when I came back after all those months, just before Black Ops 4 was released. I talked a bit about PUBG and how it has kind of lost its way a little bit, and I'm going to talk more about that in just a second. But over the course of over 1k hours, I've put over 1,000 hours into PUBG, which I know that's a bit sad, but it's just how it is. Already, I'm enjoying Blackout much more than I'm enjoying PUBG. And it all comes down to the simple things. Like, I've always been saying this, Theo's always been saying this, we've both been saying it together in the podcasts, but it's always the little things. It's always just the simple things that people overlook, like just how the game plays. Is it smooth? Is it optimized? Does it play well? Is it, bright and colourful? The maps, are the maps good? All these simple things. But I say simple, but they're not. They're really important, and I think PUBG could really learn a lesson here from Blackout. And this is coming from someone who, like I said, I have over 1,000 hours in PUBG. I've reached rank 1 on the EU first-person servers, for solo, the EU FPP solo servers. I was rank 1 at one point. So I kind of know what I'm talking about in this sense, but the reason why I left PUBG was because it was too frustrating to try to play anymore, honestly. They kept trying to include all these new features when the fundamental mechanics and the core features of the game still weren't perfect. And one thing I think they did incredibly wrong was they tried to push the game into 1.0 far too early. It just wasn't ready to go into 1.0, but they did it anyway, I think, to make it look good. I think it was more of a marketing and publicity thing more than anything. Because if you don't know, PUBG originally started out as an early access game. It wasn't originally in 1.0 when it was first released on Steam. It was in early access. Then I think it was about 6 or 7 months afterwards, I think, that they put it into 1.0. But even after 1.0, there are still so many things that are wrong with it. The desync in that game is awful. I've never played a game where the desync is so bad. And as well as that, they've released recently a whole batch of patches that have just been fucked to the core, honestly. I think that's just the best way to put it. These patches have done virtually nothing but make the game worse. And despite all the good intentions that Bluehole had with these patches, they've just... I don't know how they've managed to break the game even more. It's seriously that bad. They released the patches and everything just got worse. Literally everything. The desync got worse, the hit detection got worse, the fucking everything got worse. I don't know how they did it, but they did. And once you've played, you've played this game, imagine you've played this game, right, for over 1,000 hours, and you just see the developers do all this stupid stuff. It just really demotivates you to play it, I think. And there was one point, actually, when I really wanted to go pro in PUBG. I wanted to get into the pro leagues, I wanted to join a team, and I wanted to compete, in pro tournaments. But now, looking back on it, honestly, I couldn't think of anything worse. Trying to play a game that fundamentally broken at such a competitive level, I think that would really turn me fucking insane. I think there's no other way to put it other than that it would drive me fucking crazy. So I'm not planning to play competitive PUBG anymore, neither do I want to. I still do go back and play it, from time to time, every now and then. I don't expect it to be better, although part of me really hopes and prays that it is. But 99%, there's a 99% chance that it's not going to be better, let's face it. They had this whole Fix PUBG campaign recently, and they said that throughout, I think it was a month, maybe 2 months, of this campaign lasting, that they were going to, go back and fix all the issues with this game. And I think this Fix PUBG campaign's got, a couple of weeks left, maybe 1 or 2 weeks. And all of the fundamental issues, pretty much all of them, that they said they were going to fix are still in the game. That's how disastrous it's been, so... I'm going to stop talking about PUBG now because it's beginning to piss me off just thinking about that game. But, I think the reason why I get annoyed about it is because it does have potential. The game, if you look at it from a fundamental point of view or a fundamental perspective, there is potential. There is a lot of potential for this game to do really well and to be really fun to play. But with all its problems, it just isn't. And when you have developers that are... I'm not saying they're not trying, because obviously they are trying to fix it, but when they just can't fix it, after months and years of this game being released, and after months and years of this, opportunities after opportunities for them to fix it, it's just frustrating, honestly. So, yeah, let's go back to Blackout. Let's stop talking about PUBG now. So, you know, in comparison to PUBG, Blackout is much better, I feel. It's much smoother, it has far fewer problems. Yeah, you know, the hit detection isn't perfect, the desync is still apparent, it is here, although not nearly as bad as it is in PUBG. But Blackout has just been released, and already it feels 100 times better to play than PUBG does. You know, that's the difference between these two games here, and that's why I'm having so much more fun playing Blackout. And I think that's also why I'm going to stay with COD from now on. I think I'm just going to stick with COD as my main game and not try to venture off into other games. Obviously, I'll play other games from time to time, but not, you know, as religiously as I fucking play COD. And one reason I think I like Blackout so much is that it is a new map. The entire map is new, as in, like, the entire creation is new. But the smaller parts of the map are still made up from, or at least some of the smaller parts of the map are still made up from previous COD levels. Like, obviously we've got firing range, we've got Farouk's, we've got Nuketown, we've got that small part of Call of the Dead, and I really like that. I think it really brings back the nostalgia that we get from previous CODs. Like, I remember back in the day playing the original firing range in Black Ops and the original Nuketown, and it's nice for them to kind of bring it all back into one final masterpiece, I guess. So in terms of the future for Blackout, which I think there is going to be a massive future for Blackout, I hope there is anyway, because I want to play this for ages. I'm not sure if Infinity Ward are meant to come out with a Battle Royale mode for next year. I don't think they will, because if you kind of look at how the Battle Royale trend is going, it is starting to kind of die off, I think. Not in terms of like player base, but if you look at all the new games that are coming out, there aren't many Battle Royales that are still like under development. So I think we've kind of hit that maturity stage in the Battle Royale genre, I think. So not many more Battle Royale games are going to come out, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Infinity Ward will come out with a Battle Royale game. But until then, or maybe even after then, if they don't come up with a Battle Royale game, I think Blackout is going to have a massive future in terms of DLC. We've already got rumours. There's already rumours that Hijacked is going to be added to the Blackout map, whether it's going to be introduced to the existing map, or whether they're going to kind of, what I hope they do is, I hope they kind of expand it out a bit. Because if you look at the Blackout map, there's kind of areas that are out of bounds that look like they could harbour like new parts to the map which might be introduced in DLC, which I hope they do. I hope they do that. So if that is the case, then maybe Hijacked is going to be a part of it, because I know people were, including David Vonderhaar, they were talking about, you know, the future of Blackout, and Hijacked was mentioned as supposedly coming to the map, which I think would be sick. I think that would be incredible if Hijacked came, because then we would have Nuketown, firing range, and Hijacked all in the Battle Royale map. That would be fucking incredible. I'd love that. But obviously we got the other things like new weapons, new vehicles, new characters, all the standard stuff. In terms of the zombies weapons, I hope they bring back the weapon from Call of the Dead. I forget what it's called, like that sniper one where you shoot it and it shoots like a sniper bolt which explodes on impact. I think that would be really good, although obviously they'd have to tune it a bit because that sounds quite overpowered in like a Battle Royale game or a multiplayer game even. But I hope they bring that back. I forget what it's called and it's really annoying me. In fact, I might have to quickly look it up. Let's come over here. Call of the Dead Wonder Weapons. Let's have a look. What is it called? I can't fucking find it. It's only bringing up the VR11 and I know it's not that. It's the sorry, what? Call of the Dead Sniper Wonder Weapons. What's it called? The Scavenger. That's what it's called. The fucking Scavenger. I knew it was something simple like that. I just could not find it, but sorry about that. I just could not figure out what that fucking weapon was called. But yeah, the Scavenger. I think if they brought that to Blackout, I would love it. But obviously, like I said, they'd need to tune it a bit because it would be overpowered. There would be someone hiding behind cover healing up. You just need to shoot the Scavenger like anywhere even close to them. It would just blast them off the face of the fucking earth. But yeah, that was... I think that would be good if they brought a tuned version of the Scavenger to Blackout. Obviously, it would have to have its damage radius massively reduced to be balanced. But obviously, other weapons, I think they could bring back some of the standard weapons that we know and love from, you know, Treyarch's God. Maybe stuff like the MP40. Actually, no, I think the MP40 is actually in Blackout now that I think about it. I think so. Not the MP40, but things like, you know, the maybe STG. PDW, all those other kind of stuff, AN-94, Peacekeeper, all those other guns that we know and love in Treyarch's previous COD games. I think they could do a very good job for themselves and, you know, help themselves out a bit by bringing back some of those older weapons, because people would love that. Trust me, people would absolutely love it if they brought back some of those older weapons. But so far, to kind of round up this video, I think we have a really good Blackout mode with us already, so we don't really need to worry about DLC just yet. The standard game, I think, is more than good enough, and I'm having so much fun playing it. I don't think I'll be able to play it anymore tonight, sadly, even though I want to, because I've got a fucking party, Halloween party. But tomorrow, if I'm not too fucked after the party, I just want to get on and play, you know, a good few rounds of Blackout, because I fucking love it. I played it some more last night, which is where I got this gameplay from. Because like I said earlier, I hadn't really played it much up until then. But I played some last night, I played some matches, I got this gameplay, and I was having so much fun. I don't know why I haven't played this sooner, to be honest. But yeah, it's a really fun game mode. Hopefully you're all enjoying it too. But like always, let me know, are you enjoying it? Are you not enjoying it? Do you think it's alright? Do you think it's fucking brilliant? Do you think it's terrible? You know, what do you think? Let me know, because I love to see what other people think about it too. So yeah, I think the gameplay's wrapping up. I haven't actually got the gameplay in front of me, so I think it's mostly done. I'm not 100% though. Like I said earlier, I kind of potato on the last kill, which is kind of my fault, but this other guy had an amazing aim, to be fair to him. So you know, obviously sadly I didn't get the first place, I didn't get the win, but you know, I'll be playing more and hopefully I will get a win at some point soon, like I do with PUBG. I've got so many wins in PUBG, so hopefully that can kind of you know, my PUBG skills can kind of translate over into Blackout and we can get ourselves a lot of wins. And if I do, I'll make sure to record it and I'll upload it as gameplay, and we'll talk about other stuff, you know, when the time comes for that. So thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Peace out.